冒険者たちが活躍するのにぴったりな場所だと思いません？
まだ終わってない鍛造依頼、あと何件あったっけ？一つ、二つ。そんな多くないみたいだし、明日から本気出そっと。
やっぱりモコモコダジュにしよう。ステージ内なら荷を運べるし、毛も売れるだろうからな。
福育の語り。どよめく神楽、火炎を刻め。やるか。清掃を開始します。トリポーン。君の天才愛の 見切りました。痛がっちゃいないの。終わりね。見て見て虹が。ここより弱滅の時。ヒュッフッハッタッヤッハッテッヤッフン。裁きの雷。フッ。逃げ道はありません。捕まえた。水遊びの時間だよ。ガチャガチャ。やあ。はん。はん。痛がっちゃいない。糸よ、工作せよ。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。やっ。よっ。ふっはっ。見て見て虹だよ。捕まえた。たとや。さあ謎を解こう。どの目が出るかしら。裁きの雷。はっヒュッフンやっておろく。ここより
God damn it, this is fucking immune to Dendro. God damn it, it runs away. It's immune to Dendro, so that's like one of my main DPS here. And I didn't have my energy up for fucking... she died. Dude, that is so fucking annoying. It's so annoying that it fucking like runs the fuck away. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna like leap backwards, because who doesn't love an enemy who runs the fuck away? Who doesn't love an enemy for a game that's mostly done in melee range? Who doesn't love enemies that just run away? Like, who? It's like it's always the most annoying thing in literally every fucking game. There's never a game where you're like, yeah, cool, he ran away. Like, the only times it's like if the game also has like if the game also has ranged fighters, we're like, oh cool, well, yeah, sure, he ran away, but luckily I'm a ranged fighter. But it's like, yeah, even then you can make it work, but it's always like, it's never just like, oh well, don't worry, it's inside or above. Fuck, it's above. How do I get out of here? Is there a way to get out the... No. Yeah, I'll That is kind of annoying. So basically, yeah, I had to have taken from here and then jumped down. Which is kind of annoying. Oh, hey. How did I miss that? But yeah, so it's always fucking annoying. It's always fucking annoying. Like, it's understandable, right? You know? Sure. Like, there are enemies that try to do things at range, so if it's about to, like, line up a big attack, yeah, most enemies would be like, oh shit, I'm about to do this big mega attack. I'll leap back so that I can get it charged up and shoot, right? Yeah, understandable. But still, like, it doesn't make it any less annoying for an actual player to deal with. Because it's always the same fucking shit, where it's like, great, awesome. Now, like, especially in this game where, like, you do a lot of your damage in burst windows, so it's like, great. So a poorly timed runaway, like, could mean that he runs away just as your burst window starts. And then you have to fucking chase after him during your burst window. It's fucking annoying.
裁きの雷捕まえた嘘はいけないね素直にハグなんて
That was weird. These guys, normally there's like a boss type. Unless maybe the boss type just happened to appear right in front of me, so I was able to kill it with my Nefer right away. Okay, so I have one more. I need more. It wasn't... whatever. Let's go to this. I know one of these is kind of annoying, because it's like... I think this is the annoying one. It's like the one that's Hydra one. Oh no, it's Electro one. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the only problem... The only reason why it was kind of annoying... Hey, oh, look at that! Oh my god, Jesus Christ. I guess I'll just... I think, even if they're immune, I think this still does charge my ally, right? It's a hit, right? Or does it not? I mean, because they're moving and stuff, so presumably this counts as a hit, right? Yeah, before I didn't have my Nefer all built, so she wasn't doing enough damage, and so basically, this is my friendship team. So I have Raiden and Yelan as basically the ones who can kind of carry things, but it obviously sucks when you're, because with Raiden being the main DPS, Raiden would be the one who actually goes out and does a lot of damage with her burst and gets to heal up, while Yelan also provides a lot of off-field support with her burst. You know, so it's really good. But the problem is then you fight enemies like that and you're like, fuck. So like Raiden's the main driving force of this. Just Yelan's damage is not enough. I need both of them. And then the enemies are like tankier and shit as well, so it's like, it just kind of gets rough. Wait, sorry. Yeah, I already did that. Okay, cool. So yeah, so it just kind of becomes annoying because you have to deal with that shit. Let's see. I guess this, well, that one, yeah, this won't even level up high enough for. So I think she needs 16 for it, so this would be still short. This could actually help because I think. Anyway, so. Yeah, this kind of stuff. And then before, my Nefer wasn't like built well, or she was like under leveled. So it's like, yeah, so she couldn't really, because she needed to be out there doing shit. But I didn't have her built at all. Even now, I don't know how well built she is. I'm not really super sure how to use her too. It's still kind of a tough thing to do, to work around. Because her playstyle is a little unusual. Because the whole point is that during her skill, she consumes one of those thingies, the lunar dew, to do her like mega attack. She needs the lunar dew to do her mega attack. And the problem with that is that like I'm not 100% sure how it charges. I think it charges like when I just do stuff. I think it charges when I do stuff. So it's like if I get reactions, if I get like lunar bloom reactions, that charges it faster. Like I know it charges just over time as well. So it is like yes, as I continue to use it. Okay, so these are all still popped off. I want to keep them usually at 100 or so. Okay. So basically, yeah. So it kind of comes. Okay, so I can't really. This hasn't hit the threshold. I could put 6 into this one. But that's already at the 20 threshold as well. This is at the 20 threshold. I want to get to 30 when I have enough. But yeah, I mean, realistically, this is doable. I just got to go out and like farm these bosses. But I don't know, like, and that's what I did like when the game first came out. But just like the amount of grinding you have to do for all this shit is just like, because you have to like go out every day, because you can't just like continuously farm. Like it's not like one day you're like, you know what, I feel like I have an extra hour. I'm gonna just like keep farming until I have enough. Right? No. You can farm up until a certain point, and then you have too many. Like then you've killed all the ones you can. Then you've killed all the ones you can track, and you have to wait for another day. Now technically they do still exist, so there is that bonus where it's like, yeah, even though they say, you know, we can all, even though you can no longer track it, they still do exist out in the open world. So if you have a map where all their locations are, you can still go out and kill more. But even still, there's only so many that exist in the world. Anyway, like those little fire weasels in the in that volcano Natlan area. There are only so many of them, so you can't actually even track that many before they disappear. And even for the ones that are untrackable after that, there still aren't many to kill. So even if you look them up, it's like, yeah, you might be able to get a few extra, but it's still not that many. Oh, actually, yeah. So yesterday I stopped this midway, and I was complaining. I'm like, God damn it! Like, 'cause it looked like we were gonna have to reset, right? Like redo the entire quest. And so I logged out of the game before I tried and checking, because I was expecting that me coming back in here would trigger the quest again. And I didn't want to, and then I'd have to just quit the game. And if I quit the game, then it automatically destroys the stream. So I signed off before I checked, but I was wrong. It wasn't restarting the quest, because I thought, because like when we popped out, I thought it was done here. I didn't realize there was a desk in here where it actually happened the last time we did this. And so basically, even though I left the memory, I was we can actually just go back in like that. So I was actually very pleased by that. I was really concerned because I had gotten fucked before in the Act 3 quest, where I left the quest zone and it basically reset the entire quest. So I had to do the cutscene again. So I was worried that would be the same thing, where it's like, oh, sorry, like you didn't realize you were going to go into this long cutscene memory, so you're now stuck in here. And if you try to leave, you're going to have to redo the cutscene. I was expecting something like that. So I was expecting that when I got kicked, especially when it kicked me and like popped me out here, and I just, all I saw was the quest marker in there. I'm like, fuck, that's actually where I went in. That's where I actually went in, and that's where the cutscene started. So I thought that it was just shit. You go in there and the cutscene starts, right? So I didn't even look. I just immediately left so I wouldn't accidentally trigger it. But when I came back to check right after I logged out, or right after I stopped my stream, I saw, oh, okay, I can go back and just continue the ceremony. Cool. So that's good, you know, because like realistically, there should be checkpoints, there should be saves. That previous quest that fucked me should have restricted my movement and not let me go outside of the quest bounds. So that it restarted the quest. Like, it makes no sense. They lock you in for other areas. I don't see why they didn't do it for that. like later in Act 3, when we're helping Columbine and Arlecchino get the moon, we popped up in a place in Nodcry, and they locked you within the region. They put barriers around the quest zone. So it's like, I don't know why this one quest didn't have barriers. And if you go past the range, it resets the quest. It's like, why? Why would you do that? Like, so yeah, didn't like that. So I'm glad that, and like for this was just like an unavoidable cutscene. It was like, oh yeah, just go talk to Nefer. And I was like, oh okay, maybe we're going to have a chat with Dainsleif and Nefer and all that shit. You know, learn a little bit more. And then it's like, no, we're going to go back into the memory and we need you because it might be dangerous, so we need you to help us. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it immediately throws you in here and not asking you, you know, would you like to start now? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not ready. Like, this is the end of my workout. Like, I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't want to spend like half an hour to an hour in here. So the second I came into this memory, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to leave. And it, you know, it said the whole, oh, you're going to exit. You know, you're going to lose all progress in this quest. It might have said lose all progress in this location, but either way, I was like concerned, especially when I popped out and it popped me out of the room. And I was like, shit, did I just get fucked? But no, I didn't. So they did the thing that you should have done. So they did the correct way to do it. So very pleased that I wasn't screwed over again. But yeah, so basically we know that his girlfriend is a remnant of the old dynasty. And she got reached out to by one of the resistance. So my only guess is that, I don't know, maybe Rarier raids one of the Red Moon locations. She's there, and she betrays him. Maybe that's what makes him so pissed, is that because of her betrayal, because of her abandoning of him to go with the Red Moon people, maybe it just made him hate moons all that more, and maybe that's what corrupted him. Is the Abyss gave him the power to get his revenge. So maybe that's why. And like, to be fair, like, unlike the others, like Sir Logi left. We haven't seen Verdofnir. We know Rhindaughter merged with one of the gods, so who knows how the fuck that happened. We know Piero, Capitano are both alive. Although they I don't think either of them are one of the sinners, although maybe Piero is one of the sinners. Either way, we don't know what happened to the other sinners. They seem mostly fine. So, it's hard to tell what made Rarier go crazy. Like, did he go crazy back then? Or is he crazy now because his existence was shredded to pieces and he's been slowly, like, rebuilding himself for the last 500 years, right? Like, the shredding of his existence might have made him go crazy, right? He might, even back then when he became a sinner, he might have not been, crazy. Although, to be fair, Dainsleif has said that he did fall. And so maybe some bad event happened, and then that combined with the shredding of his existence left him only with that bad event in his memory, which just drove him crazy for the last 500 years.
聞いてくれ。ずっと誰かに監視されてるんだ。違う、被害妄想じゃない。黒い服を着たやつを見たんだ。そいつは2日前に現れたんだが、その時は別の町で見かけた。
隣にメモがある。ルンオティール邸の監視はこれにて録音にあるのは。箱の中に高そうな宝石を恋人に送るつもり。以前よりも落ち込んでるように見える。資料でいっぱいの本棚。 どれもカーン類野人の情報が細かく知る。赤月は黒日の前王朝で、レリルは黒日の人間。
Really? Like, so did that transition just happen? They made it seem like the Eclipse Dynasty, the Red Dynasty failed, the Eclipse Dynasty took over, and they made it seem like some time had passed. Like, everything was fine, and then only recently, when the Vinster King became ruler, did he start going after and persecuting the old dynasty. Which makes me think that multiple generations of, there were multiple kings within the Eclipse Dynasty before the Vinster King became king, and then decided to, oh, I see, oh, I see. So it made it seem like the Vinster King, like after a few kings, the Vinster King came into power, and then he decided to go after the remnants of the Red Moon. That's what it sounded like initially. So I thought like maybe like 100 or so, like 50 to 100 years had passed since then, So it was like, oh, this is kind of weird. Why is he all of a sudden doing this? Like no one else did this type thing. That's what they made it seem like.
51歳料理人赤月の生き残りであることを確認済み過去1月1日
Yes. Yeah, he was talking with other descendants, so we're just gonna kill him. Like, yeah, that's all he did. Just talk to them. Oh. Is his girlfriend gonna appear? Is that the thing?
23歳事務職員赤月の生き残りであることを確認
I mean, this is obviously dog shit, right? Frequent contact with other descendants. It's like, okay. But, like, that's what's so fucking stupid about this, right? Because, like, the descendants, presumably they're all family, right? Like, to some degree, they are a level of family. So it's like, it's crazy. It's like, yes, this person attended their family reunion, and they get along with their family members, so we killed them because we don't like their family. It's like, that's kind of fucked up, right? And that's it, right? That's all it is. It's just like, yeah, all they did was just frequently contacted, people. So this does, of course, does beg the question, does pose the question of like, okay, how long ago was this, right? If it was ages ago, like if it was 100 plus years ago, where the Red Dynasty failed, and so this has been like over 100 years since they were in power, then yeah, at that point it would be kind of weird, right? Because like, sure, the dynasty fell, you guys scattered to the wind. It would be weirder for you to all of a sudden be in communication with them. It's also a little stupid, because even if the dynasty fell, chances are people went out as like little group. So you'd have a little cluster of Red Moon people, Red Moon family people who are like, well, we all came from the Red Moon dynasty. We have to, take care of ourselves and, make sure we don't get persecuted and killed. So yeah, you're gonna gather together to try to, help protect yourselves, So it's not in any way nefarious. And right, as you said, like, did any of these people engage in any subversive activities? No, everything he said up until this point has just been they communicate with other Red Moon descendants. That's it. Just frequently communicate with Red Moon descendants. That's all. The fact that they are communicating, the fact that they are assembling in any form, even peaceably, even if it's just like a book club, a book club full of Red Moon descendants, that could be contacting them repeatedly, So, yeah, exactly. And then you have this, of course. So obviously, it's incredibly overreaching. It's weird to do this, and it's even weirder if it's been a long period of time, right? If it's been a long time since... So they haven't really clarified specifically how long it's been, but I'm pretty sure like when they talked about the falling of the Red Moon Dynasty and the rise of the Eclipse, they made it seem like it had been a while ago, right? There's been multiple kings since then. So it does make it weird that, like, why are you all of a sudden doing this? Like, it would make sense if this was, like, yes, I am the king that took over the Red Moon Dynasty, right? I'm the king that created the Eclipse Dynasty by overthrowing the previous rule. At that point, a purge would be somewhat normal. Obviously, it's still a dick move, but like, it would be not crazy. Like, that's the time to do it, right? You're like, yep, we're to be taken over. We're gonna clear out any descendants of the Red Moon Dynasty. So like nip these things in the bud. So it is weird, if it's been a long period of time, why are you all of a sudden doing this? Now, this is obviously the act of a paranoid person, right? This is the act of a bad king. Because a paranoid bad king thinks, oh shit, my rule is under threat. Because they're shit, they think, oh my god, like, everyone's gonna fucking... 16, Jesus.
女16歳
Yeah, 16 who's an orphan, and you just fucking killed an orphan? Are you fucking... You killed a 16-year-old orphan. What a fucking dick move.
については全く印象がない重要人物ではないようだ
And then, of course,
むしろ
this also does beg the question, is like, okay, sure, like, they are confirmed Red Moon Dynasty. Okay. How do you confirm that, right? Like, obviously he's dating one of them, so he himself doesn't know. So the question, so what could have made him go crazy is he could have been ordered to kill his girlfriend, and he did. And maybe his girlfriend hated him at the moment. I mean, the girlfriend could have betrayed him, or the girlfriend could have just accepted death, and he killed her, and that's what just drove him crazy, doing his orders. But either way, it's just like, this whole, confirmed Red Moon descendant. Who confirmed this, right? Because that's the other thing, is that you say they're Red Moon descendants, but, like, that doesn't mean shit, right? So, there's two aspects of this. One, even if they are Red Moon descendants, did they do anything worthy of being considered a threat? A 16-year-old female, was that? Yeah, I think it was female. 16-year-old girl. An orphaned 16-year-old girl is apparently a threat to your dynasty? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, really? Like, that's fucking insane, right? So yes, so it calls into question, are they really as big a threat as anyone is claiming, right? So, and are they really a big enough threat to say, yes, the only way of handling this is to kill them, right? That alone is suspicious. Like, obviously, none of these people have done anything. They're just like, yep, their only crime is to communicate with other descendants of the Red Moon Dynasty. That's it. Regardless of what they did and how often they did it. And even if they did it knowingly, right? It could just be that in a particular poor sector, there are just a high concentration of them, right? Who don't even know that they're Red Moon descendants. They just, they're just trying to, make every day last. And of course they communicate with them because they're the people who live around them. But none of them, they might not even be aware that they themselves are Red Moon and the others are Red Moon. And so you're just killing them because they just happen to be there, even, and are unawarely talking with amongst each other. And then of course there's a whole confirmation of Red Moon descent. So it's like, because obviously we can see, yes, regardless of what you do, just being a Red Moon descendant is an easy way to get yourself killed, right? Just being a Red Moon descendant is a way to kill. So because of how willy-nilly they are of killing Red Moon descendants, it does call into question the validity of the Red Moon descendant confirmation, right? Because you could declare anyone a Red Moon descendant just to get them killed, right? You could say, yeah, we confirm this person. Yeah, the guy upstairs said, yeah, there's a Red Moon descendant. Just go and kill them, right? They were communicating with other ones. It's like, oh, okay, cool, I'll go kill them. It's like, yeah, so it's an easy way to, it's easy to lie and say they are, even if they aren't, just as a way to get rid of political dissidence, right? It's like, even amongst their own dynasty, right? Because, like, sure, there's the king, right? So the Red Moon descendants are presumably descendants of royalty or nobility of the previous dynasty. So yes, they could pose a threat to the king if they rise up. But you could also have other nobles within this kingdom who are like, hey, I'm competing with this other noble. We're both trying to sell this or that, and they're just a much better businessman than I am. I know. I'll try to talk to someone in the intelligence agency and leave an anonymous tip that the person I'm competing with is a Red Moon descendant, or I'll bribe someone to claim that they are, and get that confirmation posted, and now your competition is killed because of your felonious report, shit like that. So that's obviously why this is a huge problem, is because Jesus Christ, yeah, 16-year-old orphan was bad, right? Like a 16-year-old girl apparently is a threat to the dynasty. Now it's even worse, a 13-year-old, an even younger one that you killed. Like, Jesus Christ. This is what really gets shitty, is when you have people like this who just don't think for themselves. Even worse, are they just going younger and younger? Oh, has not been. Wait, what? Didn't they just say has not been in contact? Or did they just miss a... Oh, wow. Yes, so 6 years old. Yes, a 6-year-old orphan is a threat to the dynasty. And look, just confirmed, we don't even see any mention that he communicated with other descendants. He's just a 6-year-old orphan who's just been murdered. I mean, to be fair, so that's presumably the Abyss, right? Okay, so even at this point, so presumably even at this point, he had been in contact with the Abyss. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going on his children. Which is crazy, right? That he doesn't find... Okay, so... No, it's not. Because, like... Yeah, I've always been fair. It's like, you're killing children, dude. Like, threats to the dynasty? They're clearly not threats to the dynasty. Also, the stupid thing, of course, is that threats to the dynasty. Do you realize everyone is a threat to the dynasty, right? You don't have to be a Red Moon descendant to be a threat to the dynasty. The very existence of the Eclipse dynasty proves that even people not in power can just randomly become king, right? The Eclipse dynasty took over the previous dynasty, right? So, like, so clearly, clearly even the common people can just rise up and take over the kingdom. So everyone is a threat. That's what's so stupid about this, is that everyone is a potential threat. Now, obviously, yes, the remnants of the previous dynasty, they have the easiest claims to rule. It's like, well, we were the rulers before. This is a descendant of the previous ruler. The current ruler is bad, so let's back this new one, right? Which is presumably how they took over the Red Moon, is that they were like, hey, Red Moon is treating you like shit. We're going to stop them from doing that. And we're gonna stop them. So yeah, like, it's actually kind of interesting too, because Elfin Lied showed a very good case of human psychology, of how people kind of get used to and even justify and rationalize their own actions. So in Elfin Lied, basically, there are these girls who have magical powers, basically. But realistically, what happens is an alien embryo is like planted in their neck, and when it assimilates with their body, it grants them powers. So one particular girl was incredibly strong, but she didn't want to kill anybody, right? She didn't want to kill anybody. She didn't want to be used by the organization as an assassin, basically. So she rejected them and said, no, I'm not going to do it. So what the sadistic researcher did, who was in charge of this whole thing, is she sent out 2 girls, or one, maybe there's just one at the time. Either way, she sent out some of the other girls and basically killed themselves. So the thing is that the alien embryo, once it's planted in your neck, there basically is a little protection in it. So like it's planted in there, but basically if you disconnect the alien from your body melts. So because the alien embryo has to be in communication, and once it's assimilated with your body, if you lose the alien embryo, your body just basically disintegrates. So it's basically a kill switch for these people, because they can just remotely detach the alien embryo within your neck, eject it, and then your body will disintegrate and essentially die. So they sent other girls in, told her, the girl who was refusing to kill people, to kill these girls. And she said no. So they ejected the alien and they melted in front of her, right? And they just did this over and over and over again, right? She'd be like, yes. And told her, hey, if you kill them, it'll be a quick death. You can just chop off their head. You can use your powers to just decapitate them. They won't feel a thing. But we're going to pop the embryo, which is going to have them dissolve in front of you, which is not the most painless of deaths. It's your choice, right? Giving her the illusion of choice. Because at the end of the day, they're dying regardless, right? So basically, they do this ad nauseum. Until finally, she's like, oh, fine, I'll kill them, right? So she killed the girls, right? She killed the girls before they could be killed, before they could have their embryo ejected and melt, right? So she started killing them. I think they did this a few more times. And basically, because of this psychological conditioning, she was now conditioned into killing these people, right? So when they told her, no, you don't have to do it anymore, she lashed out and was like, no, this is my job. It's my job to kill these people, right? So they had basically tricked her and gotten her used to killing people and gotten her used to thinking of it as a mercy, right? Which, I mean, obviously for me, I can separate that shit, right? For me, I have a normal, not really a normal psyche considering what I'm about to say, but I have a developed psyche, so I can separate the fact that yes, I'm doing these girls a mercy by killing them right out, because that's what they're here for. They're here to die. Whether I do anything or not, they're going to die. So what I can do is I can kill them first to protect them. But the second they say you don't have to kill them, I'm like, okay. I'd be like, yeah, fine, sure. And if they said, hey, go out and kill some other people, I'm like, no. Like, no, I'm not. Because it's like, sure, I'm killing these girls, but my killing them is a reaction to you bringing them in here. You don't bring them in here, I'm not going to kill them, right? The only reason to kill them, because the only reason you're killing them is to provide a mercy to the death that would otherwise come. But for anyone not in that little room where I'm trapped, they're not going to die. They're not about to die for any sort of reason. So why would I go out of my way to kill someone who's not about to die? The only reason I was doing it, but obviously this is a young girl. For some reason they're all in their teens or something. Maybe it's easier for the alien to assimilate with them. So their psyche's not developed. They're not ready for this type of shit. So they're much more easy to manipulate. Combined with maybe sleep deprivation and food deprivation, shit like that, makes them more malleable. Hell, who knows? Maybe they even added drugs to her food. But either way, so it's like that kind of shit happened. And so it's a similar thing to what's happening to Rare, right? They first gave him people who had a justifiable reason to be killed, right? Oh my god, this guy is a leader of a resistance group. They've actually even actively tried to push resistance literature and ideology to the Empire. Let's kill them. Okay, that's a somewhat justified thing. If they actually are actively resisting the Empire, sure, right? And then, but at this point, we've already gotten to the point where it's like, oh yeah, they're just descendants and they just happen to have communicated with some other people. We don't know the contents of their communication. If that isn't in any way related to a resistance, they could just be chatting and shooting the shit. Maybe they both like fishing and they're just talking about fishing every day. Maybe they work together, right? So of course they're going to communicate with descendants if they just happen to work together. So, but basically he's been conditioned to think, yeah, they're Red Moon descendants. That's all the justification I need. Doesn't matter who it is. And I think he has some level of distrust. He has some doubts in him, but basically, he's just kind of saying, well, no, it's fine. Everyone else is doing it, so all my colleagues do this. This is just normal. So he's trying to justify it within his head. And this dissonance, the dissonance between what he's actually doing and his conscious, is what I think is how the Abyss is seeped in. So I'm kind of curious. So we learned from Dainsleif that during the course of all this bullshit, Verdofnir went to the king, tried to convince him of something, had his eyes gouged out. So my guess is that this is right before then, and maybe even Verdofnir is going to talk to Rarier about what he's planning. Also, Dainsleif did say he was betrayed, right? He did say he gathered up a bunch of people to break in and free his brother, and in the process was betrayed. So, hard to say who he's betrayed by. The fact that Rarier knows his brother and Dainsleif, would make him a prime candidate for the betrayer. You'd think Dainsleif would have mentioned that. I was betrayed by Rarier when we went in. You think that would be kind of important, but regardless. I mean, that would also explain why he wants to know what happened to him, right? Like, why he's asking about him is because it's like, yeah, if he was the betrayer, this could give him an idea of why the fuck he did what he did. Oh, or maybe this is when Verdofnir says, hey, one of the reasons why I was against your marriage is because I know she's a Red Moon descendant. And maybe that's even why. And it could be that Verdofnir is the one fingering all the Red Moon descendants. It's like, Verdofnir could actually know. Like, Verdofnir could actually, perfectly know exactly who is a Red Moon descendant, and is only... So it could rule out the potential of people being labeled as a Red Moon descendant when they aren't, as a way to get rid of political rivals. If Verdofnir is the only one who has the authority to make the claims, then he might. Then at least it rules out that aspect of it. But, I mean, regardless of whether they are Red Moon descendants or not, the quote-unquote threat a 6-year-old child poses to the Empire is a little dog shit. And in fact, by killing everybody, all the Red Moon descendants, you actually are making a bigger enemy. Like, if you don't kill them all, right, and even some of them escape, you're kind of fucked, because they'll raise another army and try to fuck you over. And why? Well, because you fucking murdered every single one of their descendants who were peaceably living. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's why you shouldn't go too scorched earth. Like, obviously, yes, you don't want to leave too many remnants, because they could then still try to claim their right to rule and, form up again. But if you're too genocidal, then that will galvanize all of them against you, right? Because, even if they were a descendant from the other dynasty, not all of them were involved in politics necessarily, right? Not all of them. Some of them might have just been commoners of that dynasty, right? Who have no skin in the race. They're just like, okay, well, I guess that dynasty's over. We'll just live under this new dynasty, whatever, right? And they're fine to live peaceably in the current dynasty, because they never really. Because, for commoners mostly, they don't give a shit about who rules. They just want to make sure that their lives will be safe and secure. So going out of your way to just murder all of them is going to galvanize these people who would have otherwise just been content to live their lives. You're now you are the one making them an enemy of the Empire. You're the one making them enemies of the dynasty by trying to kill every single one of them. And if you succeed, then fine, right? But if you fail, you're breeding even worse resentment. So it's incredibly stupid to do something like this, and depending on how long it's been, right? Again, if it's been hundreds of years or over 50 years since the fall of the Red Moon Dynasty, then this is incredibly stupid, because you're not really getting rid of much of a threat. Killing actual people who actually are dissidents are fine, because you can justify that, and so you won't galvanize all the Red Moon descendants, because all the other Red Moon descendants won't be like, oh, well, fuck, they killed Bob. We have to raise the resistance. Like, no, if Bob was like, Bob bombed a bakery. You're like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's understandable that Bob and his group were taken care of because they were committing terrorist acts, right? So even amongst their fellow Red Moon descendants, they might be like, oh, well, I guess it's somewhat justified. When you start killing them for no fucking reason, that's when you're going to get them to be like, oh, well, it seems like just existing is our crime. And when you make any person's existence alone their crime, you're gonna get some desperate moves. You're gonna get some desperate people.
確かに私はいくつかの未来を予知できる。例えば、君が今日。
That is, I also am curious, right? So he has the power to foresee things. Now his eyes were gouged out, so presumably his eyes are related to his power, perhaps, because otherwise, why gouge them out? You know, like foresight. People may say foresight, but it doesn't actually have to literally do with sight usually. So why would the Empire gouge his eyes out if it didn't do anything? So maybe his power does reside within his eyes.
あなたとダインを俺の結婚式に誘うかもしれない。
嘘。いや。
さすが。
杯を交わしたあの日から、君が私に
未来を予知できるっていうのは、
この感覚を良いや悪いで語るのは難しい。未来を予知する能力を与えられた者は恐れているのだろう。あの日、
はい。
意図的に話そうとしていないことを君も感じ取っているはずだ。それは予言の重みを君
では誰だったらあなたの予言を
あえてあげるならかつての陛下だ。
Yeah, so so presumably the king wasn't. So, like, as I said, my guess is that the king was the first corrupted by the abyss. Maybe the king isn't. Maybe the king is is a little too ideological, but lacks the actual competence to do his ideals correctly. And so maybe that is what caused him to be ripe fodder for the abyss, and now he's doing all this crazy shit. Even Verdofnir himself says, yeah, as he once was, so he currently is not who he was. No, I'm not saying that's confirmation that he's been corrupted by the abyss, just that he's changed, right? But I think that change was caused by the abyss. And so it's curious if he might not be the first. It could be that one of the other 5 sinners found something first, brought it to him, and then it corrupted him from there. Maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally, hard to say.
もちろんあれは良い変化とは言えない。でもだからこそ私は迂闊に進言できないんだ。王は自然なる名君にも恐ろしい悪竜にもなりうる。
それほど頭がいいのに。
そうだね。あの最初の沈黙だけでも君分かったよ。預言者ではなく君の友人の兄として忠告しよう。レリル。君の結婚は君に幸せをもたらさない。
Yeah, so obviously the idea is that, yes, because she's a descendant. So the question is, how does he find out, right? I assume it's not because maybe Tholindus goes to one of these rallies, and that's one of the rallies he breaks into, finds her, kills her maybe lets her go, and then he himself is fucked over.
僕たちは月の狩人のその人の名前は皮肉なものだよね。お姉さんに求婚まで簡単だよ。あいつを殺してほしいんだ。お姉さんのことは警戒して。そんなことするわけないでしょ。じゃあ僕たちがこのまま殺されるのを黙って見てるつもり？
I mean, this is also stupid, right? Oh, I want you to kill him. It's like, sure, he is killing you, right? That's undoubtable, right? However, he's not the only one. The entire intelligence agency is out to kill you, so killing one assassin is not going to help when there are 10, right? Now, sure, you might be killing the best assassin, but it's not going to stop anything. So the idea is, oh, well, if you kill him, that'll solve everything. It's like, no, it won't change shit. Sure, so first of all, let's assume she succeeds, right? Even if she does succeed, it's not going to stop shit. And that's the thing, it's long since gone, right? Like, they've said it's long since gone, right? Has long been dead and gone. So we're going to assume it's been like 50 plus years, right? So it makes this purge even more suspicious. Although I guess if all the Crimson Moon descendants have those eyes, it would make it pretty easy to confirm whether they are one or not.
あなたたちが復興を諦めるなら彼を説得して国王あいつがなんで執拗に僕たちを捕まえようとしてるのかなんで何度も秘密を国王あの暴君は世界の外の力に目を曇らせた同変木なんだよ
Okay, I mean, so that basically confirms what I was saying. Power from beyond the abyss, basically the abyss. Which is actually interesting because they're Red Moon worshippers. And the Red Moon only exists as the shattered remnants of the other of an old moon corrupted by the abyss. So basically, both of you are worshipping the abyss. You were just worshipping the abyss. You're worshipping the abyss that resurrected your moon, and he's just worshipping the flat out abyss. I mean, it's also stupid, right? Because obviously he's positing it like, oh yeah, you kill Rary, problem solved, right? And it's like, okay, so you yourself acknowledge that it's the king who's causing all these problems. You know, it's the king who worships the abyss and is trying to get the Red Moon Dynasty's secrets. And somehow killing one of his many assassins is supposed to stop him? Like, what?
レリル、あなたでもそれを責める資格が私にはない。だって。
I mean, you say that, but again, they are going out and murdering all the fucking.
生きていくのに不都合なことを隠して何が悪いの？人に見せられないベズル・フェルニルさんもこのことを予言で知ったんでしょうね。
Wait, his prophecy? Is it the one? So this is after. Did Rarier tell her this? Did Rarier tell her his thought? Did Rarier hear that from Verdofnir and tell Thelindus about it?
でも、災いが起こるのをただ黙って見てるつもりはない。相手が誰であろうと。
So that is interesting. So is she trying to? So my guess is that maybe someone turned him against her, right? Maybe someone said, "Oh my God, Thelindus is trying to kill you," right? And so he went after her, and then found out that she wasn't trying to kill him, but she was actually trying to protect. Oh, I know, she's pregnant. That's my guess. Is that I bet she's pregnant, and I bet she does some seemingly suspicious things, right? She's like, it should try to protect her and her child, or the two of their child, and he finds her. He's told who she is. He kills her, and then finds out at that point she's pregnant. Or maybe she says it at the last moment. But yeah, I mean, like, it's so stupid. The child's like, "Yeah, just kill him." It's like, "Yeah, you're the closest one can." It's like, "Yeah, he's one of many assassins." Like, yeah, sure, you'll slow them down slightly by taking the strongest assassin, but even still, they've already killed so many of you, they don't even need an extra person. Like, having one less person doesn't really matter when you're killing 6-year-olds.
Oh, ごめんなさい。レリルのことなら私がよくわかってる。どれも国王の命令のせいよ。彼は特殊な機関に所属してて。お姉ちゃんと知り合った時にはもう人を殺してたんだよ。そんなことないわよ。レリルは私が赤月と関係してるなんて知らない。私が赤月の血を引いてるって知ってる人は先生を入れて。ウーラはもう誰も なんとかしてみせるわ。
Oh, wait, what? That makes no sense.
自分の正体
Oh, I see. Yeah.
疲れちゃダメだから。
She's talking about. I thought they were alluding to that she should be convincing Rarier to talk to the king. I'm like, no. She's just referring to what she said before, is that about what she was saying, that she could convince him to talk to the king, and the little girl's like, no, that's not possible. And it's like, yeah, great, yes, it's not possible. Then how will killing Rarier change anything? There's a fuckloads of assassins who will just take up the mantle and do it in his stead, you know. And killing Rarier is not going to stop the king, you know. Killing Rarier doesn't give you an opportunity to kill the king. So like, killing Rarier will do nothing other than just killing him. It's just pure revenge, pure and simple. It's not like killing Rarier will make it easier to kill the other agents. Like, no, you still have just as many agents to kill, and you still have the fucking king, who's surrounded by everything, right?
レリルは国実の諜報員。彼にはしばらく会いに来ない方がいいわ。
お姉ちゃんでもこの仕打ちから逃れられないの？ずっとレリルと一緒に
彼をかばうつもりはないし、その質問に答える。そうだ、これを持って行って。危なくなったらなりふり。こんなに？私には仕事があるもの。あなたは外に出ることだって。
Because like there was machinery around the Red Moon, so presumably the Conrians had found it. Although that might be the Red Moon Eclipse's technology. But didn't we see Thelindis interacting with it? So like presumably she's been hired by the Empire, and she has been doing research into that technology. So maybe that's what she's talking about. Anyway. Any more sparkles? No, okay, no more stuff sparkles. Oh, wait, is this... Oh, this isn't his, Wait, oh, I see. This isn't his, office. I thought it was more back... I thought we'd looped back to his office. Yeah, it's very much like what I was saying about the Elfin Lied thing. She's lost her sense of morality. Killing is just something she does. Killing is just her job. Now, the fact that he says, leave me alone, clearly shows he does have some level of conscience, right? He understands that the Abyss is correct, that he is killing people. Now, he himself understands that, yes, he's not doing it completely willy-nilly, right? He's not doing it completely unfeelingly, but he's still doing it nonetheless. I mean, you could say that. You could say that, obviously. Oh, the king doesn't need... Huh, interesting. That power, is it... I was assuming it was the Abyss talking to... Oh, there it is. Oh, I see, they disappear after a while. Yeah, I've always been guilty. Yes, the 6-year-old child is clearly a dissident, right? Also, you're not doing anything that's committed crimes. You just... Everything, even before, just talking with them, has always just been... is a threat to the Empire, right? Is a threat to the Empire. It's not that it's not that they actually are, right? They've not done anything. So you saying, oh yeah, you know, you saying, oh no, I've just done my job. These are all. It's like, no, none of them committed crimes. All they ever did was just exist and talk to their fellow descendants, you know? And sometimes not even that, as we saw, because some of them didn't even have, you know, some of them didn't even have, you know, was found talking to dissidents. So yeah, I bet she's gonna say Orlog's dead.
花売りのふりをしてた男の子だよ。
あ、ええ。その子がどうか。
2日前に捕まったの。あ、
そんな。
ねえ、なんであの人はこんなひど。それとも。
違う。
I mean, I do think it's a little dog shit, right? Her whole thing was, I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to convince him to stop. Yet, let's not just hear me out. Like, okay, well, what have you done, right?
私、もう行くね。
You know? Like, sure, Orlog talked to you, then she talked to you, now she talks to you again, and Orlog is dead. You claimed to Orlog that you would talk to Rarier and try to get him to convince him to stop. So what's fucking happened in that time, and why haven't you done anything? You know? Like, you say you're going to do this thing, but again, you haven't talked to him. And I understand why you don't want to talk to him, because talking to him,
今週はターゲットへの干渉実験を47時間実施で、中に送り込んだ観測対象はすべて何の進展もない。
talking to him.
状況は日に日に悪化してる。でも、
Oh, I
もし
see.
この研究に意味がなかったら、
I see.
私はどうすればいいの？
I bet she's in the research center right now to try to like reawaken the Red Moon, essentially. She thinks that if she can get the Red Moon to reawaken, it could then like empower or back her tribe and protect them. I think that's why she's keeping silent, is because she wants this research to succeed, and if it does, it will solve the problem at the core. If the Red Moon dynasty is being protected by the Red Moon, the Vinster King can no longer attack and kill them as easily. I see. Okay, so yeah, I think I get it now then. Is that, so that's probably her hope, is that the research she does is the research we saw with those three zappy things that were zapping the moon.
なんで見逃してくれないんだ。あんたみたいな処刑人、僕たちは知りもしない。ただ静かに、普通に生きたいだけなのに。
生きていたいのか。
Was it gonna be that little girl? Okay, it's gonna be Orlog the entire way. Is he the 6-year-old boy that was killed? The orphan 6-year-old? I don't know, is he supposed to be 6-year-old?
生きるか。俺だって生きたい。これからもずっと。
Wait, to keep living forever? What?
このまま進むしかないんだ。残念だが、いきなり世界を変えて、俺たちを解放してくれる人が現れる。
Yeah, and this is always kind of annoying. When you get the people who are like, well, this is just the world. It's like, I'm going to do some morally wrong thing. I know it's wrong. Everyone knows it's wrong, but because enough people do it, it's fine. You know, I can't change the way the world works, so we're just going to have to...
もしそんな奴がいたら、俺とお前がここに立ってる理由もないんだからな。今日の分の新しい書類が届いた。いや、飽きることはない。これは仕事だ。 俺は今
Is it Felindus?
どうしてソリンディそんなはずなぜだどうしてあいつらとつながりがあるわけないなるほど笑えるな俺は国実の王イルミンズールよお前は一体どこまで落ちるつもり今は赤月だがそれで終わらないんだダメだこんなことを続けるわけにはいかないもう
Okay, well that's obviously a good stopping point. Wait. Experience the content again. Like the entire content? Shit. If you leave, you'll have to experience the content again. I did get a chest. Actually, no, wait, I got a chest. There's no way in hell they would allow this broken way to farm it. Because basically, I could get that chest over and over and over again. So I'm going to risk it. I'm going to leave. And I'm going to just double check. What happens if I go into the ceremony? Does it start from the beginning, or is it... Oh my god, it actually does start from the beginning. Holy shit, that is a lot more dog shit than I... That is... Okay, well, fuck. That was a waste of time, then. Fuck. They were right. I doubted them a little bit, because like, it seemed like a new portion of the quest started, and I got a chest, so I assumed it was checkpointing within there. But it does not. So now I just basically wasted the last half an hour of my time. I mean, I say this, but I'm gonna be like super quick. Like I was doing discussions and considering things. So doing it over again won't take me 30 minutes, but it'll still take me like 20 minutes, which is annoying. It is annoying. Like, it's especially annoying because it's like, because like you could argue, that, oh, they warned you, right? They warned you this is a special thing. This is a special story mode if you do it. Yes, but they've had checkpointed systems before, right? So one would assume that like they would just checkpoint, especially when like clearly the quest changed because the quest was like, oh, we're going to swap over and have you go over here now, and a chest appeared. So it's like, oh, okay, well, isn't that you would consider that to be a checkpoint, right? But they're like, nope, no checkpoints, which is like, seriously? So you have a 30-minute long cutscene? A 30-minute long cutscene. So basically, you're basically just saying, hey, you have to have like an hour to dedicate to do this quest, and we're not going to warn you about that at all. We're not going to tell you, oh, by the way, please set aside an hour to do this. Which is obviously dog shit. The fact that you don't have a checkpoint is just fucking stupid. Like, why don't you have a checkpoint? Like, and it would be fine. Again, like, people have always complained that Genshin doesn't have the ability to skip dialogue. And to some degree, I understand, like, why you shouldn't. Because if you do, some people will just do it, right? Some people will skip the dialogue, ignore your story. Like, you spent a lot of time on the story. Having people just skip it and ignore it is kind of shit. And realistically, it's better for everyone to have the same shared experience of, yes, everyone had to go through the story so that you have something to talk about. If you allow people to skip, you're going to have people who just skip through shit, get to a later point, have no clue what's going on, and be like, wait, what's this? Who's this? What's this? It's like, yeah, because you kept skipping dialogue and skipping cutscenes, you don't know what's going on, and now you're no longer as invested in the game. So I understand why you shouldn't allow it, conceptually, but then, of course, situations like this, where it's like, oh, okay, well, it does suck when you don't allow us to back out of dialogue, to be like, oh shit, I didn't want to go into this cutscene, can I please exit? And then what about cutscenes you've already seen? It would be nice if you could just skip through all that shit. So it is unfortunate. I thought it would checkpoint. I thought when they said that, they were like, it was just going to be something like, oh well, watch out. Like if you restart this, you'll go back to a previous checkpoint. So you might have, because like they obviously don't know when you're going to exit. So they could just be like, well, yeah, we have checkpoints at this, and this location, but if you leave in the middle of one of those 2 points, you're gonna have to be bumped back to the previous checkpoint. It's just like, okay, yeah, sure. You'd still expect that kind of warning. So, like, I wish the fix is super simple. Like pretty much everything is just that you were more clear. If you said that and then put an asterisk at the bottom, there is no checkpointing in this quest. You will literally restart from the beginning if you leave. Something like that. Make it clear there are no checkpoints. Because you've had checkpoints before, so if you're going to behave differently, you should tell people you're not behaving in the same way as you have before. So anyway. So yeah, I think it's annoying. I think it's dumb. It's whatever. Right? Like now I know. And the only reason I spent time like spending resin and shit like that. I wasted 20 minutes doing random shit. So, and then like of the 40 minutes I was playing, maybe 10 minutes chatting and doing theory crafting and stuff. So doing it again won't be super difficult, and I'm just gonna be like blasting through the quest and all the story and not fucking around. So it's basically just streamlining it. So tomorrow morning I'll do the same thing. I'll try to go straight into this first, just to make sure I get out of the quest zone, and then do my resin farming and all that shit later. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call it now. But thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time.